On Sunday, February 19th, there's an anti-war protest scheduled in Washington, D.C. It's a unique one that includes people from the left, middle, and right of the political spectrum, from the Libertarian Party to antiwar.com and more. Craig Pasta Jardula is one of the organizers, and we spoke with him via Zoom on Wednesday. Pasta, I'm really appreciative of you taking your time. I see you're a busy man doing the morning show, and then you got the other show and all the other stuff you're doing. But at the moment, we're talking about Rage Against the War Machine, February 19th, Washington, D.C., convergence of what they used to call the left and right, but the anti-imperialist and anti-war faction, in any event, hopefully trying to build a majority, urgently needed to stop this war before they blow the world up. And of course, we're running into challenges. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said, just ditto right there. I mean, the urgency of what's going on. I mean, we were chatting before we got started over here, Don. The talk about, some people mentioning that are, have big audiences and big followers about the Chinese balloon. First of all, you can just see how our media is in on this. And that it was hard to find a source that didn't say spy balloon. And
Right.
Yeah, the suggestions that came after that, we should send bombers off from Guam. The Chinese are doing this as a trial run. There were so many of them, but it just really kind of like painted a picture of what we got going on in the United States right now. And that old school book, Addicted to War, it seems like the same mechanisms are in place to persuade people to think that Chinese balloons are an aggression, and that China is our enemy or Russia is our enemy. It's just more of the same. So we're going to just get out there as best we can. There's anti-imperialist, anti-war people, and we're going to come together, and we're going to rile up some people, and hopefully we can start something that's been missing for quite some time. I know you've been in the anti-war movement for a while, but it's pretty much non-existent. So any means possible, Don, we get out there, we can start something up, and hopefully get the ball rolling, bring more attention to what's going on with our foreign policy.
Yeah. We're looking at what's going on in Ukraine at the moment, and what's going on in response to it. We're actually conducting a war. Everyone admits it, even out loud now, that we're conducting a war against Russia on Russia's border. They couch it in all different kinds of qualifying, obfuscation language. But in fact, we are at war with Russia. Russia did not attack us. Russia did not challenge us. We started this war. And instead of there being hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in the street in every city in the country, understanding the possible consequences of this, we have an attempt to have a rally of unity in Washington, D.C. with I know it was a month ago, and it's almost a month out, a couple of weeks out still. With that, all kinds of acrimony around it, as if it's an insane idea to try to stop this war, and that we should be fighting over everything else that we have, except for this war, when this could end everything.
Yeah, I mean, and for those of us who understand the details, the finer details of what is going on, talking about what happened in 2014. I mean, we can probably go back to 1991 U.S. involvement. They've always been creeping closer and closer. NATO's been getting closer to, aside from breaking their promise, but just getting closer to the border of Russia. We have nuclear missiles lined up on a lot of the Baltic states. So, I mean, some of us understand the urgency here. It seems insane to some of us that we're saber rattling with another nuclear power out there. But Don, I often think why people are so just blind to what's going on. And I often think about the programming that we went through for so many years as kids, not just in school, but, in our culture in Hollywood. I mean, I will never forgive Sylvester Stallone for making me cheer for the Mujahideen in Rambo 3,
Right.
but that's what it was always about. We always taught, we were programmed Russia bad, Russia bad, Russia bad. So now we got this going on, and people are just naive to realizing that World War III is out there. And yes, I mean, it is a little disheartening right now. Don, you were on a show of mine where we had the chair of the Libertarian Party, we had a MAGA person, and we had you, a Marxist, and it was just, we all agreed on war. We put everything aside. We all agreed that our foreign policy is out of hand. We need to bring it back. and check it and put it in place. So it is a little disheartening to see the little small fights in between and what's going on. But, I guess it's we have a little bit of a learning curve right now, and hopefully we can get it straight. I'm still optimistic. We can put all this little small bickering behind us, get out there and have a great event. And after that, continue to move forward with shining a light on our foreign policy and the empire and what they're doing in our name.
Let's talk about the event a little bit, just so people know. It's going to be the 19th, which is a week from this coming Sunday, I guess, right? And a bunch of speakers from across the spectrum, including you.
Yes, very humbled and very fortunate. Thank you.
So we've got Chris Hedges.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe let's see here. We've got representatives from the Libertarian Party, the People's Party, the Mrs. Caucus, and that's up in the air at the moment, actually. From let's see who else. World Beyond War, the CPI, the American Student Union, Free and Equal Elections, antiwar.com, and the Wars Coalition in Milwaukee, a bunch of other groups, left, middle, right, on one theme.
Yeah.
No war.
Yeah.
And right now, of course, when we have that war that's facing us.
Yeah, and people like Ron Paul, who was just going to do a video, is going to come out. Cynthia McKinney, I don't know if they've released this yet and stuff like that. It's rumored that she's going to be making a video.
Yep.
Jimmy Dore, Tulsi Gabbard is now on. And I have my differences with Tulsi too as well. But I was a hardcore supporter of her, but I still think she's been, her policies as a Democrat, she still was way beyond better than any of the squad members, any of the Democratic members. But it's okay. Like, you can have your differences here. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to be adults and disagree, but it's really stupid to kind of really trash on this event just because you have certain differences with certain people getting on that stage. We got to just more than ever come together and realize it's the oligarchs versus the rest of us. And until we get our heads on our shoulders and get that simple concept and come together despite our small differences, we're going to just be sinking in quicksand.
Yep. Dennis Kucinich, Ann Wright,
Yes.
Garland Nixon,
Yes.
Blumenthal, Tara.
Anya.
Yep, that's right. Anya Parampil, Supreme, Jill Stein, Diana Sayre, Scott Ritter, Kim Iverson, Jackson Hinkle, you, of course, Wyatt Reed, all kinds of folks from everywhere. Again, if they blow up the world, all of these other disagreements that we have amongst ourselves do not matter. And they're working on blowing up the world.
I know that there needs to be a sense of urgency right now. Like I said, Don, I'm very optimistic we'll get by the BS, and this is going to happen. This is a new coalition that's formed, right? The idea that libertarians and, anti-imperialist leftists, because that's the big major block here, right? I think people who used to consider themselves leftists, who came through the Democratic Party, who were on the Bernie train, maybe some of us went to Tulsi, combining, forces with this libertarian party. I mean, this is something that could really be something special. It's a vision I've had for quite some time. I called it the Great Compromise, right, Don? Like, hey, we're going to disagree on stuff. We got to compromise on the issues that we disagree on, but let's come together on the things that we are so aligned on. And that has been anti-interventionist, anti-imperialism. Those are the things. And this is a powerful combination. So aside from people's egos, Don, I also believe there's a little bit state money in there, a little deep state, little CIA kind of like COINTELPRO. Let's put a little fuel on the fire to cause this friction, to make this thing be focused on all the little small stuff rather than the big picture at hand. So hopefully we can fight through the nonsense.
Yeah. What do they say? Who benefits is the first question you should ask.
Absolutely.
Something. All right. So, Pastor, thank you so much. We will see you there. I'll be there, and we'll be bringing this to folks back at home. Thanks a lot.
Definitely, buddy. Look forward to seeing you, and thanks for having me on, Don.
For KPFK, I'm Don DeBar.